we're touching on it. Let's just dive into it. I want to start at the very beginning because I know the fighting game community means a lot to you. And I've seen like bits and pieces of your story here and there, and I just kind of want to uh I want to find out more about you. So, starting at the beginning, like what was your first exposure to the FGC and like what got you into the FGC and into playing fighting games?
When I started to do battles in high school, one of the guys who I battled sent me a clip of the Daigo parry, and I didn't know what was going on. Then I realized I was like, "Oh shit, this is fucking crazy." And I'd always liked Street Fighter 3 just because the way it looked and stuff, and but I wasn't really into like Street Fighter like that. Um, but then I just got super into Street Fighter. Like I got really into Third Strike. His anniversary collection was out, and so I bought it and I played Third Strike and I showed it to all my friends. I brought it to school to like theater stuff and we all played it. And we got like really, really into it. Like I would like download like videos of the internet of like Chef from UK playing Ryu and all these other people. And we went to our first Evo in 2006. Me, my friend Eric, and my friend Jeff. And we used to go to the Boomers Arcade in Irvine, like near Palace Park. And it was like not a it was like a whatever bullshit arcade. It wasn't great, but it was like what we would do, and we would go to Camelot and play there. And so we went to my first Evo. We got one of those Tekken 5 PS2 sticks. Uh, got bodied, and then left. And like we had wanted to play like competitive games for like certain competitive games for a while, but like the way it was shaking out at the time, like we used to play card games. We were fucking nerds. Um, and then, but this was like our other competitive thing, and we got really, really into it. And so, a couple years later, we thought there was never going to be another Street Fighter, and fucking Street Fighter 4 gets announced. And so we go out to try to find an arcade to play it. It comes out, we're fucking obsessed with it. We decided to go to Evo. Um, that do terribly, but it's a fucking great experience. It was one of the coolest things I've seen. Daigo versus Justin Wong at that time, and I looked up to all these people, and I was just like, "Oh man, that's so crazy." These people like Alex Valle, man, like I wish I could be like that guy. And then I broke up with my girlfriend like shortly after that, and I was like, "All right, I needed something to do. I'm just gonna go to this garage in Southern California and play because I'm gonna go to locals and I'm gonna see what happens." Right. So I found the locals thread at SRK. I went there to this guy named Shiggle's garage, and fucking Alex Valle is just there fucking playing. And like, I knew who Alex Valle was, and I was like, holy fuck, dude. And so I started going there like every week, and my other friends dropped out, and I was just like, I'm just gonna play this, and it was fucking. I sucked, but I really loved the experience. It's like I'm playing with like the best players in the world here. That's fucking crazy. And you know, Vi was really harsh about and the way at the time is like I had been doing rap for a while, and like I showed my rap to Shiggle and other people to just kind of ingratiate them with me because that's how I like made friends. Like, oh, I'm good at this, you see? And Vi was like, no, I'm not listening to that because he knew what I was trying to do. So he was an asshole to me. Like Vi was like a fucking dick to me for bro months, man. He was really shitty and like aggressively shitty, like singling me out in front of 60 people, talking shit to me, like saying like what the fuck is the point? Why are you even fucking here? All this kind of shit. And he implemented the band matches, and I got knocked into the band matches twice and then got out of it. Like worked to get out of it. Um and I thought he was gonna give me shit, and he was like, "Oh, you survived, Red Rapper. I like it." And the next week he listened to my song and he put it on the fucking stream because he was just like he just wanted to say like you have to work. And I learned so fucking much, and I was like, and then he like I give him and Jimmy Nguyen like so many props because they put me on, and then they played my song on stream, and they used it for Project Blocks when they did it, and then like James Chen was like, hey, I do all the intros for like Evo and stuff. We want to do these things like the Sprite Slam Dunk commercials where they do this slam poetry kind of shit. You want to write some raps about these games? I have some bars for Marvel too. which he gave me like the first few bars. He did not write the whole fucking thing. I saw that fucking shit, James. He did not write the whole fucking thing. Don't give me that shit. You wrote like 4. I know the bars you wrote, bro, and I did that. Like they were great bars, but you don't say that. So like, I love James Chen. He's amazing. He's one of my favorite people. Like, so he gave me that opportunity, and I did all the raps for it, and then I ran out of bars by the time I got to Street Fighter 4. So I was like, fuck it. The Cody theme sounds like a rap beat. I'll rap over that. And I rapped over that. And I was just kind of hype. And I came up with it. Like, oh, it'll sound good. Let's be big for Street Fighter 4. And I showed it to them. I was ready for them to be like, this kind of whatever. And the entire like Evo crew, like who were fucking playing the show, like Seth Killian and everybody loved that shit. They're like, this is fucking awesome. Like you went in depth, and I like researched stuff. I wanted to make it like, because I fucking hate when video game rap is just like pushed. I grew up in Irvine. They don't think rap is real music. They don't think this. I hate people pushing stuff off like it's not serious. So I want to take. What if you have this talent and you take this shit seriously? Won't it be fucking dope? So I took it seriously, and they loved it. And then I did the fucking Cody theme, like at Evo, and Chris Lee, who is a fucking great dude, was like at the end of it was like stand up red rapper, and everybody saw me, and then my life changed because I got a giant standing ovation from that. Went viral. People saw it on stream. All of a sudden, I started to do Street Fighter music more often, and I became this like Street Fighter rapper. They put me in a commercial for the Street Fighter 3D edition. Capcom saw it, and then I did the next year. I pitched doing an Evo theme because our theme was only Sandstorm all the time, and I was like, why don't I fucking do that? Because I have to do something else, right? And I got Mike Ross and everybody together, and we did that, and Yipes, and that played well, and so Evo had a theme, and I got to do the Evo theme. And then at the same time, I was trying to like make a movie about the fighting game community because again, I thought I was never going to be a rapper. Like I might as well get into film, and I studied film and shit. And so I worked up a lot of work to like put this short film about the Street Fighter together called Ranbat. And I wrote a script, and I got a bunch of really top players to be in it, and they took their time, and I spent money I didn't have. And people did shit for free and did me favors, and the movie never came out. And Capcom's entire leadership changed in that time. Over that time, I also got a lot of hate from people. I gained a lot of weight. I was horrible with self-care. My dad was like a super big out. My dad's was always an alcoholic, but it was like it got really bad. And then I bottomed out. I was like, I had nothing. Like I wasn't getting work. I was like I'd gotten rejected from every film school I applied to and shit. It was really bad, dude. And like I was getting a lot of hate online for just rapping these. Dude, I'd get death threats. I'd get like really racist messages on Xbox Live. I'd get fucking weird emails and shit. A few people realized who I was in like certain public places and were like, oh, that fucking shit sucked, and was like rude to me, get in my face. It was fucking bad. So I applied for Berkeley on a whim, got in. It's like, okay, I'm gonna leave the FGC, right? And then for 4 years I was there, but I never really like left. It was just a part of me still. And Street Fighter 5 at the time, I was just not really like involved with the scene all that much. And by the time I came back from Berkeley after like a bunch of years, I'd gotten viral at Berkeley and all that shit too, but then that had bottomed out, and I was trying to help my dad get sober when I got back, and that was tough. And I just slowly started to try to get back into the scene over like the years and like make a few more raps about fighting games and stuff like that. I did Everything Changes during the pandemic and stuff, and I started to kind of weave back in and the community, if you don't know, like when you leave the community, it doesn't really leave you. Like I thought people were gonna be like, why the fuck are you here? Because I was always very like on when I was not doing well, because I was just like, oh, I need something. And like
Yeah.
I remember Seth
Yeah.
Killian one time was just like, bro, you're gonna be fine. Like you need to chill. He's very kind. And even Yipes was just like, dude, I don't want to. Yipes didn't say anything, but like I know that I was fucking annoying him and Mike and everybody like that. But like I worked really hard. I made some cool music, and as time went on, like I started to get more ingratiated with the community, started to talk with more people again. And then when everything changed hands and Evo needed to rebrand. I got reached out to about possibly redoing the Evo theme, and I've been like working to try to get that there. And so I pitched them something. This was last year. I pitched them something, right? And I started last year broke, got a job at Apple Music, and all this happened. And like I was like, why don't I do it like this? This is the music I did for did this Cowboy Bebop thing that went really, really well. I did this My Hero Academia thing that Funimation used. Like, why don't we do this team? And why don't I source everything? And do you want to do intros? And like, we don't really have budget for intros, but if you have anything left over, try it. And I was like, fuck it, why don't I just do it Hail Mary and try to do all the intros? And at the time, I'm sorry, this is so long. This is like a fucking novel.
I had questions that were going to lead this conversation, but you're just doing it all for me. So this is great. This is exactly what I wanted to hear. So you're doing
cool.
Great.
Thank you, Captive. Welcome to my one-man TED Talk. It's my go-to joke. So like, yeah, no, I sourced all, and the other thing was like, I didn't want all of them to be rap because there was a giant fucking chip on my shoulder. I was like, you motherfuckers think like I'm just some rapper. I'm gonna fucking do like every genre. I'm gonna do jazz. I'm gonna do fucking punk rock. I'm gonna do metal. I'm gonna do fucking hip hop, cypher hip hop. I'm gonna do fucking Haley Williams. What's the fucking band? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting Haley Williams' band right now. What is it? And if why am I forgetting that name right now? I'm so tired. How could I forget that band? Oh my god, I'm so dumb. Paramore. What the fuck?
Oh yeah.
How do I fucking forget Paramore?
I was looking it up too. It's okay.
I'm gonna do Paramore. I'm gonna do fucking all the shit that you never thought I would do. And I went really, really in on it. And asked for favors, sourced with people who thought I was talented. Almost got in trouble at Apple Music for fucking doing all this shit. And then 80% of the way through the project, certain people involved wanted to pull the plug. But then Rick put his shit on the line and we got it through. And it blew the fuck up. It was huge. And I got to redo the Evo theme. I got to do all the stuff. And I was like fully back in the FGC. And then the Philip DeFranco stuff happened. Like Philip DeFranco saw me on a TikTok. And then was like, hey, Freestyle the News is really cool. And then that became my full-time job. So I quit my job at Apple Music.
Hell yeah.
And then this year, like, fucking has been amazing. So like the Evo, we put the Evo album together in 2 weeks.
Oh damn.
Last year was a great fucking like, hey, I did all this shit and it's great. This year, Run Back City was great. There was so much stress around this year. And like the first 2 days of Evo sucked because we were worried if the project was going to go up, and it went up. And it has been an amazing, that and Mortal Kombat has been an insane blessing. I'm still really scared about stuff, so I'm still constantly working and trying to make sure things don't fall by the wayside. But yeah, that's kind of where I am now. Is like I got to come back. I really didn't think me getting to come back and do Evo would have happened. Like the way I wanted it to happen. I thought I would have maybe gotten to do 1 or 2 things. Me getting to have all of this and have a say in this and help define things and do cool shit like this has been my dream come true for quite some time now, and I'm very lucky to have it. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I save receipts, motherfuckers. Whoever talks shit. So
good.
It's my come up.